Hi, I'm David Mollet and I'm here with Marlene and Russell. And Marlene and Russell are clients of Dave Beachy from Post and Beam. And they've welcomed us into their house today so that we can discuss just what it was like for them to design and build their own Post and Beam home. And before I ask any questions, I just want to thank you guys for the generosity in allowing us to come in and ask you these questions.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
So, for me, I'm curious. What was it that had you guys choose to build your own Post and Beam home, as opposed to what a lot of people do is get a house and land package or get a complete home? What was it that made you take the road of designing and building your own home?
I think when you get involved in building your own home, you have the opportunity to put a certain amount of yourself into it. It's not only being able to design what you want and what suits you, it's a personal experience, it's a personal involvement, and you finish up with a house that's not the same as, say, a house 5 or 7 doors down the street or whatever. It's an individual house that you've been able to be involved in yourself.
And you can watch the house grow right from the beginning. You can see all your ideas put into place, and it's very satisfying.
So for you, Marlene, was that a big attraction to going this way to get your own ideas and to get a sense of satisfaction and ownership in the build?
I didn't know a lot about mud brick houses and building until I met Russell, and we went around looking at houses, mud brick houses and so forth like that, and I really liked the idea of then, building our own place.
Yeah.
Something different to everybody else.
And Russell, had you built before, or?
Look, I'd been involved in building before. It's certainly not my trade, but
Yes.
I've sort of been involved enough to feel confident up to a point. I think that it's comforting to know that when you get involved in a process like this, you're not going to find yourself in a situation where you're halfway into it and all of a sudden you're floundering, you're lost and you don't know where to go next. I think if you get involved in something like this, that's where you've got a solid backing from a recognised company that have done it all before,
Yes.
you feel much more comfortable about doing it, and if you get to a situation where you're a little bit lost or whatever, you know where to go, and you can always get, you've got a product that's, it's pre-cut, it goes together well, and you've always got some advice you can fall back on.
So I'm gathering from what you're saying that as you're building the home, what I'm hearing and what you're sharing is that you did get quite a bit of support from David along the way, and that was really helpful.
Very, very definitely. It's not like going out and, people who are utterly dedicated can spend years and years searching out bridge timbers and all sorts of stuff like that. I'm not interested in doing it that way at all. That would be beyond me. I was very much more inclined to get involved with a company and a product like this that's all real good quality stuff.
Yeah.
It's all cut beautifully so that it all fits together well.
Yeah.
And you don't get into the bother and you don't have the problems when you're working with second-hand material. I know it's nice in the end to be able to get involved with that, but no, this is a better way for me personally, and I think for a lot of people to go.
Yeah. So I'm guessing from what you said that you guys did a lot of the build yourself. How exactly did you go? Did you put the kit together yourself, or did you have somebody help you and then finish it off?
When we first got involved with David, we had a lot of input into the design.
Yes.
Once we came up with a design, once we had virtually final plans, David was good enough to put it out to tender and gave us the name of a couple of different builders and some prices and what have you. And we went with a local guy that actually built it to lock up. Now, lock up with one of these is one big room virtually.
Yes.
And we've built it, all the interior, we've built ourselves.
Great.
And like I say, been able to put a fair amount of ourselves into it.
Yeah, and that was important to you, that sense of ownership and involvement.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Very much so. You can put as much of it, you can have it built totally, or you can put as much of yourself into it, do as much of the building yourself as you wish to, really.
Great. Yeah.
The other side of things, I found that you had control of it. You knew when your deliveries were coming and the house was built, you know, so you understood the idea of building the house, and when you got your deliveries and everything was put into place, it seemed to me a lot easier than I've heard other people go through with building.
Well, that's exactly what I was going to ask you guys next. Is, you know, was it easy? How easy was it, or how hard was it? Because I'm sure people at home are sort of thinking, well, is this something that I could take on? Could you enlighten us a little bit about that?
We've been lucky enough not to have any bad experiences with building this. We were lucky that one of the builders that David supplied his name to, or one of the names that was supplied to us.
Yeah.
Like I say, local guy. He was very, very good and very helpful. But we really didn't have any bad experiences at all. Let's not kid ourselves. It's not easy to build a house, but this is probably about as easy as it gets.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, and I guess what I'd be interested in is what attracted you to David? What was it about Post and Beam that made you decide, well, I feel comfortable with these guys?
This is not the first one we've built with David, so it goes back a long, long while, and you're testing my memory a little.
Okay, yeah. You've built two with David then?
This is the second one.
Okay, great. Yeah. All right, I didn't realise that.
Yeah. So it goes back quite a while now, but I think it really gets back to the same reason. When you buy something like this that's pre-cut, and you've got somebody who's got plenty of experience, able to give you all the advice you need, you feel a lot more comfortable than doing it from scratch all by yourself.
So what was it about David that made you think, well, this is the right fit for me? I'm just thinking of other people who might be looking for some guidance or what it was that worked for you, and I wondered if you can remember what that was.
Well, he knew what he was talking about. You could pick up on that straight away. It was very helpful.
Yeah.
And we were really convinced that we were doing the right thing once we come up to David. That's how I felt.
Yeah, I've always, right from day one, you get to be able to recognise people. I've always felt that he was pretty genuine. He was easy to get on with.
Yeah.
And there was never ever seemed to be any pressure to sort of go with a particular design or to hurry up and sign this or anything like that.
But the advice was there all the time.
Yeah, there was plenty of advice and what have you. And
so you just felt you got what you needed and you felt really comfortable throughout the whole process. You didn't feel rushed or pushed or anything like that.
Absolutely. I mean, that's really the root of it all.
Okay, so I guess the final thing for me would be, what do you guys love best about your home? Bit challenging, I know.
Oh, look, it's challenging, it is. But both this house and the previous house, our friends have always commented how peaceful it feels,
yes,
how warm and friendly it feels, and I think that to a certain degree goes for all or most mud brick houses.
Yes.
They have a certain amount of serenity, and feel like a cosy little cocoon, really.
Yeah. I understand what you mean. Sitting here, there is a vibe you get in these homes that you just don't get in the kind of pre-packaged home. It's a completely different feel.
Different feel altogether.
Yeah, you see it come together, like I said before. You see it grow.
Yeah.
And it just sort of evolves, and it's more natural, I think.
Yeah. And what do you like the most about it, Marlene?
Once again, the feel, the cocoon feel when you come inside, how peaceful it can be, and really nice like that, and how it's easy to put things together inside one of these homes.
Yeah.
Very easy.
Okay. All right, so I guess, look, the final thing I'd like to ask you, and thanks a lot, guys, is if somebody else was looking to build a home like yours, why would you recommend David to them?
Oh, look, I'd have to say that our experience has been positive right from day one. There's no reason for us not to recommend David. We have done actually to a couple of people that have been in the area and inquiring over our house. But why would you actually recommend him? The builder that we had put up the house to lock-up stage, and even the last one, have both been of the same opinion that everything just falls together so well.
Yeah.
The guys that were involved in this particular one have all said that it was probably pre-cut more accurately than what they would have done themselves on site.
Yeah.
And I mean, as far as we're concerned, we know the materials, we know it's all real good quality. It's different altogether to what you would get in a pre-packaged house.
Yeah, because it's a custom build.
It's a custom built house, and you've got real quality Oregon, real quality posts and that sort of thing.
So it's quality and craftsmanship that's really the key for you.
And
Absolutely.
people have commented to me they're surprised that this is a kit home.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it is custom.
Well,
it's quality.
Yeah, but it's the quality. Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
All right, well, listen, I think that's probably enough, and I just want to thank you guys again for your generosity and warmth in allowing us to come in and ask you these questions.
Hey, you're welcome.
You're very welcome.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you.